We'll get Cavs and Celtics out of the way. It's my understanding. I know that they had a game against the Heat where they fell
Yeah.
asleep at the wheel, but otherwise, the Celtics dominated the Heat in that series, and especially in game five, took care of business. They seem to be on a mission. I understand Porzingis is out, and I understand people have their questions about Joe Mazzulla, but I don't see any way how the Cavs can win any more than one game in this series. In fact, I don't think they even win one game. I think the Celtics are going to sweep the Cavs. They are just significantly better all around. They have better talent, better rotation, and a better head coach. So for me, this seems like this is going to be a sweep.
Yeah, it should be a sweep for the Boston Celtics, and mostly because the Cavs were pretty horrible versus the Orlando Magic. And especially the last two games, and you shouldn't fall apart when Jared Allen goes out. That's not something that should happen where, oh, we lost a center that plays very well in the role he's in right now, but he's not a star, and then you completely fall apart when he's not in the rotation. Everyone aside from Donovan Mitchell was awful in those last few games. You had Donovan Mitchell scoring 40 in game 7, and then he scored every single point in the fourth quarter, and it wasn't for lack of trying to get people involved. He literally had to score all 22 of your fourth quarter points, and then he scored all of their points going back to the third quarter, and he drops 50, and you still lose when he scores over half of your points. It was unheard of, especially in Orlando. And then you're expecting to go up against Boston. I know everyone likes to make fun of Jayson Tatum for some reason. I don't get it, to be honest, because it seems like the player that everyone likes to take shots at the most is Jayson Tatum in the NBA playoffs. And I get he disappears in some games and can be streaky at times, but it's like, what did Jayson Tatum do to you? It's like he came back from the Bucks down 3-2 and had a massive game when their backs were up against the wall. That's what you want your star player to do. He had a massive game against Philadelphia when their backs were up against the wall. He dropped 50 in that series. I think it was his playoff career high. And then he got to the conference championships every single year outside of the Kyrie year, I believe, in his career. So it's like, I really don't understand what the hate for Jayson Tatum is. I guess he succeeded earlier than most players do, but like at this point, he's proven he's more reliable than Embiid. He hasn't gotten hurt like Giannis has the past 2 years and was in the conference championship. And it looks like he may win the finals this year, and he has to get over the hump and do that. But Kevin Durant didn't do that till he was 28, 29. LeBron didn't do it till he was the same age. Jayson Tatum is still on schedule.
Yeah, he's definitely on schedule. He just turned 26 in March. So he's super young, and not only that, he's made the NBA Finals as well, and he ran into the dynasty of the Golden State Warriors, and he brought him to 6 games. He was 2 wins away from an NBA title, and everything you mentioned there made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think the hate comes from how good his rosters have been over the last several years. And if you want to give him shit for that, by all means. But let's take a look at some of LeBron's rosters. Let's take a look at some of Steph's rosters. Let's take a look at some of KD's rosters, and the list goes on. Great rosters around them. I don't think you should give him shit for that. But I think for him, I understand. I've seen him disappear in certain games. I've seen him have bad shooting games. But you just mentioned these 50-point games in game sixes and game sevens and showing up. And if you look at his records in game sevens, he's impeccable every single year in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I think this hate is a little bit unfair to some extent. There's plenty of players that you can point the blame to who are in a similar situation as Jayson Tatum who have done significantly less. Whether that be a James Harden, whether that be a Russell Westbrook, whether it be a number of different players here. I just think that he gets too much hate. Celtics in 4.
Yeah, Celtics in 4, and they should win because Donovan Mitchell, I love him, but he's the only player that can score on that team, and it's nothing personal against Cleveland. It's nothing personal against Donovan Mitchell, but they're just not good enough to get it done, and Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown can do it without Porzingis. Porzingis, they probably don't even need him until the finals because I think they could beat both the Knicks and the Pacers without Kristaps Porzingis because he really doesn't add too much on defense besides being a tall guy that stands there. Okay, you're annoying to get around, but he messes up his rotation sometimes. He's not a good perimeter defender, but he stretches the floor, which Al Horford can also still do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Celtics, they're just too overmatched for the Cavs, and I think they should take care of business quickly.